Hey again, class. We're going to pick up here in the internal view at 21, the parietal bone. So again, we're from the internal view, and if you look right here, the parietal bone, you can see where they've marked it here, and that obviously is on both sides, bilateral. Then we go to the occipital bone. That's going to be the back part. It actually extends all the way up in here, so it's quite big, even though from the back of the head you don't see much. It goes actually underneath and will encompass your foramen magnum, which actually is our next one. This is our foramen magnum, the big one. Again, we have our hypoglossal canals. These are where they cross, and just to show you, we illustrated that earlier. Well, that's kind of cool how it flipped out, but that's how they would cross. So they call it hypoglossal canal. Then we have our jugular foramen, and that's this big one here. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's good.
That's on both sides. The jugular foramen, just a little side note, there's a lot of things going through there, like your vagus nerve, your accessory nerve, sigmoid sinus, various things that go through there. That's why it's so big, because it has a lot going through there. Then we have your internal acoustic meatus, and just to give you an idea, you start here with our external acoustic meatus. If you would follow that to the inside, it would come through, and then they switch the name to the
side view there.
They switch it to the internal acoustic meatus, even though it's kind of the same meatus going through there. Then this, where I have my finger holding that, is known as the clivus, or also known as the basilar plate. And this is where the pons of the brain will lay against, and they'll go over that when they go over the brain, but it's just that area right there. Then we have a carotid groove, and this is obviously where your carotid arteries will go through. But
by the lacerum.
Oh yeah, okay. So again, with our story, we had the foramen lacerum right there where the cowboy puts his lasso. Just farther back or posterior is going to be the carotid canal, but the groove itself is actually found more up on the foramen lacerum on this side here. Now going to the next page, the trigeminal impression, and this is something that Derek and I need to kind of clarify a little bit, but if you look here on the skull, it's going to be somewhere right around here on the petrous portion. If you refer back to the previous page, on number 16, the groove for the superior petrosal sinus, we need to kind of clarify that a little bit more, and we'll let you know about that. Then we're going to move to the anterior clinoid processes, and these are 2 points. And they're right by your sella turcica, and they're right here. They're really prominent, easy to see. And then you also have the posterior ones here. And just kind of interesting fact, there's some dura mater that will stretch across there. And then your pituitary gland will go through that and actually sit in your sella turcica. But that's kind of the connecting points for the dura mater there. And also, if you're looking at that, you have trabeculum cellae, and that's the front part of the saddle here. And then you have your dorsum cellae, and that's the posterior part of the saddle. And again, this is the sella turcica running across there.